Throughout the research, planning and evaluation stages of our product, we used a variety of different technologies which allowed us to construct our own music video, digipack and promotional poster, the requirements for this particular course. The main form of technology I used throughout the whole project was WordPress, a blogging site accessible across the world from the comfort of my own home. I used it to record my construction, research, planning and evaluations. It was crucial for me to carry out some sort of record showing the development of my project. The website was accessible from both school and home, which meant I was not placed in a position where I could only carry out coursework at school. This was a major advantage throughout the filming and preparation stages, especially when myself and Chris were achieving a high quantity of coursework in a short period of time. WordPress allowed me to express the different stages of my project in a variety of different media forms, including videos and images with a layout of my choice. It allowed me to ensure that each post was organised and accessible to anyone attempting to view my coursework, including the moderator. There were many different ways to present the text, including changing the colour of any text and font size. One major advantage of using a public resource was that it provided a non-communicational resource for me and Chris to monitor what work the other was doing. A prime example of this would be when one member of the group required an image, they could easily access the image, allowing them to copy and paste it into their own work. It was also very useful for me to ensure Chris was keeping up to date with his work. One slight issue which occurred was the software updated itself halfway through my use of the site, therefore meaning I had to learn certain new aspects of the blogging website once again. Similar to our work in AS, we had to carry out a short preliminary task which was associated with the main task, this time leading to us carrying out a lip-syncing task. This was carried out using the exact same camera which I used for filming the official music video, a Panasonic HDC TM80. This allowed us to film in HD, something which is a common feature on industry-based products. As each of us had used a different camera in the previous year, we once again had to get familiar with the features of the camera and how you carried out each task, such as zooming in and out and replaying the clips. This was one key feature that we used repeatedly throughout the task, as it allowed us to assess clips while on location, and from this we could decide whether we felt they were acceptable or if we should refilm a specific scene. Although the screen was small, it still allowed good viewing, especially when we were trying to film ourselves or an actor, as the screen was able to rotate, so we could view ourselves as well. We also had to use a selection of cameras for the creation of our digipack, the main one being a Nikon Bridge camera, a camera which I borrowed from a close friend of mine. This was crucial in the making of my digipack, especially with my friend's knowledge of her camera, as it allowed me to create the amazing effects using the shutter feature to combine different colours from different shots. It also had a lot of features which allowed me to take high quality images, whether that is from a distance or from a very near angle. As you can see from the previous blog post, when I was more aware of how to work the camera the second time of taking pictures, they were greatly improved compared to our first attempt, which was very amateur. When we joined together with our photographer to take our final digipack images, he used a very professional camera, although I was unable to obtain any information on his camera. Even though all of these cameras, whether it be for still images or moving ones, editing software was required to ensure they were of the highest quality. To film my evaluation questions, I've used a basic webcam fitted into my laptop. This made it easier for me to film myself, and the camera is fitted into a screen which holds itself, meaning I could focus more on the answer than holding the camera. Although this would have not been the best quality footage, it was viewable footage which I could film and edit while at home, and as it automatically saved onto my laptop, this made it easily accessible after storage. Throughout project, while on the scene, I had to take pictures to provide visual aid to anyone looking at my project about certain things, such as location and equipment, as well as photographing filming sessions. To do this, I used my mobile phone as it was a high megapixel and was much easier for me to carry as I had it on me at all times. Although it was particularly difficult to upload the images, I was able to do it straight onto Twitter and then copied and pasted them into the correct place for me. The only problem with this method was that it had to be done at home. The editing facilities that we used to edit the music video were similar to that of last year, as we once again chose to use Final Cut Pro, which is pre-downloaded onto this school iMac. Although this made editing extremely hard as it had to be carried out during school hours, we understood that the end product would look a lot more professional. This was an easy choice as it is similar to many industry-based software, especially with the special effects it provides. Throughout the editing for our music video, me and Chris used a selection of effects to alter certain aspects. The effects which we repeated several times was the cross dissolve, as this allowed us to blend two clips together and make the cut appear more natural. It was also crucial at some points in our media, especially when we needed to overlap the clip of Harriet emerging and then disappearing next to Sam, although due to the superb editing from Chris, it is not at all notable that this is the effect we used at this specific time in the clip. We also used some of the colour changing facilities present on the software, attempting to change the colour of a particular shot due to the different colour sky. This was noticed during our audience feedback, but neither me nor Chris had ever had to change the colour of the clip, so this we had to familiarise ourselves with. I used outside sources, including YouTube, to research how to do this, and it ended with me matching the colour of the clip we wanted to change to the colour of another clip. This was crucial for us to create match-on action and saved me from having to form and find my own suitable colour. Although we did attempt to cut out music using the Blade facility on Final Cut Pro, we had to remove these edits after all because they did not fit with the idea me and Chris were trying to achieve. Moving away from the video editing facility, we also used separate editing software to edit the still images and also software to build both the digipack and poster together. While we used some industry-based software such as Photoshop and Firework, we also used some less professional software such as Picasa Free to edit the original pictures. This was largely due to my lack of knowledge of both programs, especially Photoshop, and I felt if I spent too long learning how to use it, this would risk my chances of spending enough time actually editing the photos. For this reason, the major editing program we chose to use was Picasa Free, something which I could download for free from the internet on my laptop, meaning I could edit from both school and home. This particular choice of editing software allowed me to change the colour, shape and size of images, as well as including many other tools which I was not required to use. I also used the text feature, adding required features to my digicack, such as the band name and song title. One thing that I chose to use on all of the images was to change the tone, as this made the pictures a lot clearer, making the final digipack a lot higher quality. Once we had all the images, I had to use more software to piece together different aspects of the promotional poster, although to do this I used the more everyday software, Microsoft Word. This particular program allowed me to maneuver images and text easily, as well as offering me the chance to build up the poster and copying and pasting other images in. This was great for me as I was very short of time and I was already familiar with the features present on this particular facility. The editing of any extras, such as this evaluation question, was much simpler, as well as not being marked on my editing skills, but the detail and knowledge within my answer. As I carried out the task of answering my evaluation questions away from school, I used the only editing software I have on my laptop for videos, Windows Movie Maker. The features on this specific program were very basic, and this made it very easy for me to edit together the video. During my research and planning stages, I used a wide range of internet search engines to gain access to the information I required. The major one I used was Google, as this is the one I am most common with, and it provided me with easy access to images, websites, etc., something which was crucial for me to completing the course. I also used a selection of other websites, some provided to me by my course teachers, and others which I uncovered myself. A major provider of information was from YouTube, as this provided me with free and easy access, both for school and home, to some of my research resources, such as clips from Mirrorball, and also the widest library of music video and pop-up videos that I could imagine. YouTube played a dominant role in my coursework this year compared to last, as I was required to consider many different music videos, and with this specific website they were all in one place for me. YouTube was also important as it provided me with a platform to upload any of my work, including my lip-syncing task, final music video, and this particular video evaluation question. After I had uploaded my video to YouTube, I used the commenting facility below to gain audience feedback, not only so that I could boost my confidence, but so I could use this information for other evaluation questions and to improve my work. Other ways of gaining audience feedback across the internet involved using social networking sites such as Twitter and Facebook. After uploading the video to YouTube, I was able to simply copy and paste the link onto the appropriate site and use either commenting facilities or non-face-to-face communication to gain appropriate feedback. Although this did make the method of gaining feedback quicker, we also had to carry out other feedback because using my own personal Facebook or Twitter to advertise the song meant that I was only getting one particular age range other than a few anomalies, although I wanted to get feedback from a wider range of resources. The social networking sites were also informative to collect information on music and bands and choosing what songs to choose. When I did frequently use the internet as a platform to collect the majority of extra information I required, I also used the media intranet, something school-based and only accessible when using the school systems, to gain audience feedback and access resources and past newspaper articles or documents. Although it was not convenient only being able to use this at school, to work around this issue I chose to do these specific tasks while I had a free time in school. Another invaluable resource which I chose to use was Wikipedia, easily accessible from both home and school as it was searchable from any internet search engine. Although it had one of its largest possible sources of information, it did require me to cross-reference the information I gained with other sources, as Wikipedia is updated by the general public and some of the information is not always accurate. Some of the pages I looked at on this particular website actually provided me with external links to other web pages, which was good, although as an overlook, this website was unreliable on its own. I also used a small selection of other technologies in my project, although these did not play such a dominant role. To formulate some of my blog posts, I used Microsoft Word as this was the most accessible from both home and school and allowed me to draw together simple documents. I had been brought up using Microsoft Word, so I was aware of all its features and could use this to my advantage. It also allowed me to easily copy and paste finished blog posts into WordPress. The reason I chose to formulate my blog posts on Word instead of WordPress is the spell checker automatically picks up unintentional mistakes from the spelling and grammar, whereas it has to be carried out manually on WordPress, and this would have taken longer to do. Another Microsoft program which I used was Excel to formulate graphs and charts and considering my audience feedback. By looking at the results visually instead of in Word, it was easier to see the shocking results I received. Although Excel is not my favourite program, the functions are easy to use, and after inserting your own data, the computer formulates the graphs for us, making it easier for me instead of having to draw them out by hand. Other resources I used for research included a few articles from Media magazine, which I gained from the internet, although I did have access to a hard copy if I so wished. Using such an informative piece of information, which was highly educational, meant that I was reassured the resource was reliable, although without my subject teacher informing me of the research, I would have not known about it. Throughout my A2 coursework, I have used a selection of technologies, some newer than others, whether that be because they have only recently become known or because they are personally new to me. Without technology, I would have been unable to produce a specific piece of work, especially the research and production stages, as the cameras and editing facilities were essential when producing a music video, which was relatively close to industry standard. YouTube was the most dominant form of technology that I've used throughout the whole project, including researching existing music videos and later on in the project to upload and gain audience feedback from my large target audience. It is with the use of technology that I have been able to allow my creative insights to flow, and I have created a music promotional package and a very detailed, very up-to-date and very interactive record of my findings and processes for people to view. The Internet, a very new media platform, has made way for a whole new generation of media wizards, and with industry-based products similar to the camera and editing facilities I have used, many people are now being able to creatively express themselves.